Okay, just a weird little update here on my model railroad track plan that I've been working on the last about a month or so. Still kind of fine tuning it, and mostly it's like now I'm in the stage of just waiting and doing some final like decision making. Um, so real quickly, this balloon track is actually going to be a temporary track. Part of the idea is this is just for circle burning, but eventually I will get rid of this switch here and this piece of track, and this will actually become a small like one turn helix right here. They'll go down, and right about here it'll go behind some buildings or something. It'll go behind like the roundhouse and everything, and then it'll go underneath all of this, and the balloon track will be under here. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. I'm just doing this as a temporary thing until I get to that stage. I don't want to start building that if I'm not happy with doing that. I want to get a layout running on 2 levels, not 3 levels, and then eventually upgrade to 3 levels. This big space right here, I originally had an idea for a switch lead, but looking at the prototype yard, which the prototype yard did in fact have a turntable, I have found some old Sanborn insurance maps that showed the turntable in Broadman Yard in Traverse City, and so it's on the wrong side of the yard, but it's there. So the small little roundhouse, 4 or 5 tracks, whatever. And then I thought about having a yard lead right here, but the prototype didn't have one, as far as I can tell, so I'm not going to bother putting one in. Some other ideas that I had was this track here kind of going off and being like some of the industries in Traverse City area. Probably won't do this track. But one of the concerns that I have right now is you'll start here in the yard and you're going to head up to the upper level where you're going to do your switching, and from this switch to this tunnel portal right here is your mainline run, and it's about it's about 3 feet. It's a 3-foot mainline run, which seems really short, and then you're in a 7-turn helix, 7-8 turns. I've been doing math and figuring it out, and then you come out on the upper level and you come out right about here. So there'll be some trees and scenery and stuff that will hide that coming out of that tunnel. And this will probably be swinging out a little bit wider so that way the track can be level right here. A curved switch, just so that way I can move this passing siding much closer to the helix and give a little bit more room for this industry up here. Make this passing siding as long as possible. I could even make it all the way up to this switch if I wanted to. And I might move it a little further forward, who knows. This is all still just a rough draft. But that means that from when you leave the yard on layer 1, you're going to go, yep, I see my train. All right, now for the next 5 minutes while it's just slowly spiraling up the helix, you're not going to see it, and then it finally comes out on the upper deck, and you're immediately to where your switching is. You have no mainline run. Now, one of the ideas I did have is part of the helix will be open. I want to fully enclose the helix, but part of it will be open on the outside, so I'll have like a little shadow box scene. So there'll be some scenery on one of the turns, but it won't be much. And that kind of bothers me because it's just like, I don't like that. I don't have it planned out yet, but the one idea that I did have was instead of the helix going in this direction, have it go, you'd come around and then go in this direction. And the advantage is that increases the mainline run a little bit. And then this switch right here would still be here. You'd go this way to enter the helix, which the tunnel entrance would be where this tunnel is. It would be hidden behind some trees and scenery. And there'd be 1 or 2 switches along here that would represent some of the industries south of Broadman Yard in Traverse City. The disadvantage is now you're going into the helix going in this direction, so when you come out on the upper level, instead of coming out and me being able to hide that you were just in a helix for several turns, you'd be coming out right here underneath where this curve switch is on this plan. You would come out, and then this curve switch would actually move over to this back corner. And so now your train comes out here. I don't know how I would hide the tunnel entrance. Okay, that's a lot. I have an idea on how I could hide it, but I don't know if I like that idea. Basically, on the actual rail line that went from Traverse City to, let me pull up the map right here, to Grand Rapids, because this is the area that I'm modeling. There are two quote-unquote tunnels. Basically, they just built the road up high enough and embankments high enough that it's a tunnel. And I could make it look like you're coming out from one of those, but then this switch and this passing siding is all back here, and that's going to be really difficult to reach if you're standing right here. And I don't want to have to crawl into the helix every single time I want to do switching. So I'm kind of on the fence if I want to put that switch here. I could, in theory, you come out here and put that switch right about here, but now my passing siding is much shorter. So that's kind of where I'm at with this track plan. Is do I keep it as this, with the helix going this way and being able to easily hide both the entrances to the helix, but having a shorter mainline run, or do I reverse the helix, have the entrances exposed, have a little bit longer mainline run, and maybe 2 or 3 more industries on the lower level, but have a harder time hiding the helix exit at least, and have my passing siding be maybe shorter or more difficult to operate. That's where I'm at with the track plan, and that's kind of what I've been noodling on for the past couple of days. I haven't actually sketched it out because Scram is great, but it's also a pain in the ass. So if you got feedback about this, leave it in the comments. Again, check the link in the description. I do plan on eventually live streaming, building this layout, and having you guys support me by following me on Twitch and subscribing on Twitch and everything would mean a lot, because eventually I do want to, not only live stream building this layout and live stream operations on this layout, but I do want to be able to allow you guys, the viewers, to control this layout in some capacity. Either actually directly driving the trains or triggering a quote-unquote AI train to run a lap or something like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. You know what to do, subscribe, all that stuff. Please though, give me your inputs on this helix thing. I need some ideas. Thank you.